So if you're a fan of me, you have probably heard me talk about my boy Spex Media on this channel, and just recently he made a top 100 NBA player ranking list, which if you haven't, go watch the video because it's a really good video and he definitely had some good insight on who was better than who. But that had me thinking on who I think are the best players in the league. So instead of a top 100 list, because I don't want to bore y'all and I do not want to be recording this for an hour, I'm going to do a top 50 list instead. But before I go into this, I'm going to set some rules. Injuries, playoff, and regular season success and abilities are going to play a factor in this ranking. I'm going to try my best to not use recency bias for some players, but at the end of the day, it's my list in my opinion. If you guys don't agree, that is totally fine. Just don't get angry over it. But with that being said, if you're new to the channel, leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Number 50, I have Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma over the years really has bounced back from a lot of hate from fans, especially in LA. As soon as he left LA, he was efficient enough to be a 20 points per game scorer on great efficiency in shooting. And it's really annoying and it's kind of sad that no one talked about Kuzma enough. He really deserved a lot of recognition. Number 49, and this is going to be very funny because Will Socho hates this man, but Jrue Holiday, yeah, I know. After everything that happened in the first round with Jimmy Butler and how Jimmy Butler just embarrassed him, I have Jrue Holiday in the top 50 list. I mean, yes, is he inefficient at times? Yes. Was his shortcomings exposed in the playoffs this year? Yes. But at the same time, I still think Jrue Holiday is a very solid point guard in the league, and I think he's underrated. And I do think his defense is really good, and it does help the team a lot. I mean, in the past, we have seen what Jrue Holiday can do defensively, and it won them the championship in 2021. And offensively, while he can be inefficient, he is a solid scorer, and I do think Jrue Holiday does get a lot of shit. But in my personal opinion, I think he's a pretty solid player, and he deserves to be in the top 50. Number 48 is his teammate, Chris Middleton. And I know Chris Middleton being this low or even in the top 50 alone is kind of questionable, especially after the fact that he was coming off of an injury. But Chris Middleton at times in the first round against the Heat shows why he is the second option on the Bucks. When he's healthy and when he can play at his highest ability, he really is a player that you do not want to play against, and he's very, very hot when it comes to the three-point line, and he's a pretty great mid-range shooter as well. So Chris Middleton, I hope he does get better from his injuries and he does improve, because I really do think if the Bucks want to win another championship, Middleton has to step up and he has to at least play 50+ games. And at number 47 is Klay Thompson, and yes, I know what everybody is thinking. Why is he at 47 after the season that he had? And this is a shout out to the Started 5 podcast, because I am the only one that honestly supports this player. Well, I do think while he did start off pretty cold in the 2023 season, there was a stretch where he really was hooping. He was really great from the three-point line. He was efficient and he had a great stretch. Yes, in the playoffs he was inconsistent, but again, this man is coming off of 2 career-ending injuries. I understand that Klay Thompson is not the player that he used to be, and his defense definitely has gone downhill, but he can still be a quality shooting guard in the league. And if I'm wrong in this upcoming season, then I am wrong and I will take my L. But I honestly am very optimistic on Klay Thompson bouncing back. Hopefully, I am proven right. Number 46, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is one of the weirdest players in the league to me, because RJ Barrett, I always thought that he was inconsistent. But, however, he did improve in the 2023 season, and he honestly had times where he was proving me wrong. But at the same time, his shooting can get very shaky and rocky, and that does stunt his growth a little bit. But in the playoffs, he was massively better than how he was in 2021 in the playoffs against the Hawks. So I will give RJ Barrett a lot of credit. I honestly hope that he can move forward and get higher in the rankings, because he really does have a lot of potential to be a great shooting guard and being a future star in the NBA. At number 45, we have DeJounte Murray. And honestly, DeJounte Murray had a very weird season last year, because I honestly thought the Hawks signing him was going to do wonders for them, but they eventually ended up being literally the most mid-team in the NBA. And DeJounte Murray, while he is a great guard, he's a great defender, and he definitely is not the best shooter, but he can score. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with DeJounte Murray. I think he just needs to improve on his shooting, and then he'll be very, very lethal. And the Hawks definitely need him to play better in the following year because Trae Young is definitely going to need all the help that he can get, especially on the defensive end. At number 44, I have Domantas Sabonis, and to be quite honest, he deserves a lot of respect, especially from me, because I was one of the people that were criticizing the Kings for making that trade, and I thought that they lost, but he proved a lot of people wrong this year. He made the All-Star team, and he was part of the reason why the Kings were able to make it to the playoffs. But, however, in the playoffs, while he was great, especially on offense, and he was great on rebounding, his defense definitely is a negative. And him on the floor when it came to the Kings in the playoffs, while he contributed, the Kings definitely were better without him on the floor. There's really nothing else to say that's bad about Sabonis. Sabonis is a great player, and he proved a lot of people wrong. But I think if he improves on his defense, he will definitely be better. Number 43, I have Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis has kind of had a silent comeback because remember how everyone was saying that he was injury prone and that he was not going to be the player that he was on the Knicks? Well, while he was on the Wizards, he definitely did not resemble a lot of his Knicks days. He was close to it, and he really had a great year. And again, he was one of those players that not a lot of people were talking about. And him getting signed by the Celtics was a really great move. He's a great shot blocker. He's a great three-point shooter. He definitely is someone that the Celtics need, especially considering that they lost Marcus Smart. And hopefully he can help Robert Williams on the defensive end. At number 42 is the Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he is a great shot blocker. He definitely has improved on his shooting, and he is just all around a really great player. The only reason he's at 41 is because I do think there are players that are better than him, and the spot just was the only place that I really think was appropriate to put him. And considering that Ja Morant is going to be suspended in the upcoming season, Jaren Jackson Jr. is definitely going to have to step up as the number one option, and who knows what will happen. But honestly, Jaren Jackson had a really great year. At number 41 is Andrew Wiggins. Even though Andrew Wiggins was in and out of the lineup this year due to injury and personal issues, I do think Andrew Wiggins had a pretty solid year. And if it wasn't for injuries, I think he would have been an all-star again this year, just not an all-star starter. There is room for improvement, and I do think Wiggins deserves to be in the top 50 list because I honestly think he has improved year by year by year, just not the way that people were expecting. Number 40, Tyrese Maxey. He has become one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA. He is a great three-point shooter. He's good at playmaking. He is great at driving to the bucket. But, however, in the playoffs, he definitely has a lot more to improve on. And I do think defensively he can do better. And hopefully, if the Sixers do trade Harden or Embiid or even both, Maxey will end up becoming the leader of the team. And hopefully he can improve while being the best player on that team. But who knows? But overall, I think Maxey had a pretty solid year. Number 39 is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, while injured, I do think potential-wise, LaMelo is going to be an amazing player. Unfortunately, he was suffering through his ankle injury, so we did not see enough of him. But overall, I do think LaMelo Ball is a very great player. We know what he can do. Just hopefully he can stay healthy. So at number 38, I have Julius Randle. Randle is a great player. And in the regular season, he really did a great job. But in the playoffs, yet again, he was just really inconsistent. And he was terrible efficiently. That's the only problem. He will have games where he's amazing, then he will have games where he's not efficient, and that really just gives him a lot of negativity from fans, especially from New York. And for any Knicks fans that are watching this video, I just hope that Randle does good to y'all because you guys do not deserve this. Honestly, you guys don't. At number 37, I have Mikal Bridges. And I'm going to be honest, Mikal Bridges showed signs of potential when he was on the Phoenix Suns, and then when he went to the Nets, that just, oh man, he had an amazing second half of the year. And in the playoffs, while yes, he got swept, I mean, what did everyone expect? No one expected the Sixers to lose a game to the Nets, especially with the roster that the Nets had. Bridges really showed signs of being a potential all-star and superstar. And I don't want to hop on the recency bias, but Bridges really had a great second half of the year. There's really nothing else for me to say. Number 36 is Jalen Brunson. He honestly had a really great season for the New York Knicks, and he was mostly the reason why they made it to the playoffs. The Knicks were in desperate need of a point guard who could do everything and generate the offense and be a great scorer, and Jalen Brunson was able to fit that role like a glove. It is honestly really sad to see that the Dallas Mavericks did not give him a chance and re-sign him to the team because he really turned the Knicks season around, and he was honestly really great in the playoffs as well. I mean, it's unfortunate that the Knicks were not able to make it past the second round, but there is a lot of promise with Jalen Brunson, and I could be going on the hype train and put him higher, but I think he really is at a reasonable ranking right here, because while he is great, we still need to see more from him. This is his first real breakout year, so we hopefully get to see more consistency from Jalen Brunson. And at number 35 is Brandon Ingram, another player who was not talked about a lot in the media, and it's really unfortunate. He just had the best year of his career in everything, and he really just does not get talked about a lot, and it's very unfortunate because since 2020 when he made the All-Star team, he's gotten better every single year. And yes, he was injured for a couple of games during the season, but Brandon Ingram is an amazing player. It's just unfortunate that he's in a league, especially in the Western Conference, where there are better small forwards than him. But to be honest, if Zion Williamson is not present, Brandon Ingram definitely is going to step up as the best player, and hopefully he can lead the Pelicans to the playoffs if Zion is still injured or if he gets traded. But overall, Brandon Ingram is a very underrated player, and he deserves everyone's attention. At number 34, I have Lauri Markkanen. This is a player who has been consistently under everyone's radar. Lauri Markkanen definitely, before Utah, did not meet a lot of people's expectations when he got drafted. Everyone expected him to be the Kristaps Porzingis archetype / KD archetype. And a couple of years in Chicago, he was okay. Like, he wasn't the greatest. And then when he got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he definitely was subpar. But then Utah happened, and that is when he had a breakout year. And it was great to see Lauri Markkanen finally become the player that everyone wanted him to be. And he was an all-star this year, and it was just great to see him almost lead them to the playoffs. I mean, they were really close to making the play-in tournament. If he continues this play, the sky is the limit for Lauri Markkanen, and honestly, I'm very proud of him. At number 33, we have Zach LaVine. I am a Zach LaVine fan, to be honest, and I think what Patrick Beverley said about him trying to get him to score a lot, it really shows that Zach LaVine, while he is great, he has so much potential to be even better, and he really can be one of the best scorers in the league. I just feel like Zach LaVine has to get that push. Number 32, we have DeMar DeRozan, another player who definitely is an amazing scorer, and we know what he can do. We know what DeMar DeRozan is capable of, and while he is not the player that he used to be in Toronto, he definitely has been able to play consistent and still be an all-star caliber shooting guard, and honestly, that's okay. Number 31 is Tyrese Halliburton, another player who I love to watch. While it is disappointing that Sacramento traded him, I think him being in Indiana is the best thing to happen to his career. I think he is able to develop and become one of the best point guards in the league, and he's definitely one of the best passers, if not the best passer in the league. I'm just going there. He is such an amazing playmaker, and the way he's able to move the ball around and get others involved is just great. And he is capable of being a 50-40-90 type player. Like, he's that great. And hopefully he can lead Indiana to being a playoff team once more. At number 30, I have Bam Adebayo. Honestly, Bam Adebayo is an amazing player. He has the potential to be one of the best big men in the league, but I just think that he lacks some aggressiveness sometimes, and we saw that in the playoffs. Now, in the finals, he was doing everything that he could to stop Jokic, and that is okay. But again, he just sometimes is very passive, and he doesn't take matters into his own hands. And I think that is a detriment to his game. He really needs to be more aggressive, not just on defense, but on offense as well, and demand the ball when Jimmy Butler is not cooking. And I just think that Bam Adebayo, if he has that drive and aggressiveness, he is going to be unstoppable. Number 29 is Karl Anthony Towns. You know, Karl Anthony Towns, I feel like, has gotten a bad rep over the last couple of seasons, even though he is a really great center. This season, he was injured, and he was out for a lot of time. But when he was playing, he was pretty good. But I feel like his pairing with Rudy Gobert definitely stunted his growth. And hopefully we get to see Karl Anthony Towns try to become possibly in the conversation for being the best big man in the league, because he still has time. He's still a pretty young player. At number 28, I have Darius Garland. I think he is a very underrated player in the league, and last year I was so happy to finally see him take the next step in becoming an all-star caliber point guard. He is such a great scorer, a very shifty playmaker, and seeing him with Donovan Mitchell, while it definitely was disappointing in the first round of the playoffs, there is still time for them to mesh together, and I think Darius Garland is going to shock the world, especially with how we are seeing him in the offseason. He looks like he is going to be improving in everything, and hopefully to improve his game to make himself even more lethal. At number 27 is Pascal Siakam. I think Pascal Siakam definitely is a player that does not get talked about enough as well. He is another player that had the best year of his career and no one talked about it, and it's really disappointing. Siakam is definitely one of the most underrated power forwards in the league, and I think he definitely, if he does get traded, will help a team tremendously. If he really does decide to leave Toronto, I really hope his talents gets utilized because he is such an amazing player. Number 26 is Trae Young. I feel like Trae Young gets disrespected way too much, and it's really unfortunate because, yes, he is defensively just not there. He is not the best defender. But other than that, I do think that Trae Young is an amazing player. I think the only thing that's holding him back realistically besides defense is his efficiency, because there are times where he has the potential to be an efficient player, but then there are times where he shot chucks a lot and he is inefficient, and that definitely causes a lot of people to hate on him. But other than that, Trae Young is a really great player. I think he's a top 10 point guard in the league, and I mean, what do you want me to say? Trae Young is just that guy. At number 25, I have James Harden. It's really sad to see James Harden be this low on a ranking list when he used to be someone that a lot of NBA players feared. While he is great on offense and he's an amazing playmaker, defensively, he sometimes still shows that he can't play defense. And in the playoffs, once again, he just is a liability, especially in games where it is very important. He just freezes and he never shows up. There were times where I thought James Harden was going to shake off that narrative against the Celtics in the second round, but once again, he just proved everyone right that he is not a playoff performer when it comes to crucial moments. Number 24 is his potential teammate, Paul George. Paul George is a player that really could have been so much better if it wasn't for injuries. And I'm not saying that Paul George isn't a great player. He is, but injuries definitely have hindered his potential. And once again, he was sidelined due to injury in the playoffs. And I mean, honestly, I just feel like the only thing that Paul George has a negative for is injuries, because we know what he's capable of. He's an amazing player. He's a great defender, a great three-point shooter. Everything about him is great. It's just the injuries, man. The injuries just really don't like Paul George for some reason. Number 23 is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal definitely over the years has gotten better as a player. Now, is he the player that he was in 2021? No, and his stats have gone down since that 2021 season. But again, he is going to be on a new team with the Phoenix Suns, and we will definitely see more from him offensively. Now, defensively, that will be in question, and it looks like he might be playing point guard, so we'll see how he can do in the point guard position. But overall, Bradley Beal is an amazing player, and honestly, good lucks to him in Phoenix. At number 21, I have Jaylen Brown. Yes, now I know he can't dribble. He's a turnover machine, and he definitely was mostly why they lost in Game 7 against the Heat. But Jaylen Brown, we can't distract ourselves from the fact that Jaylen Brown had an amazing year this year, and he stepped up big time. And I always felt like Jaylen Brown was an important player for the Celtics, and I think if they do end up keeping him, he needs to do better with his ball handling and his just not turning over the ball, because that really does not help him at all. At number 21 is Zion Williamson. Off-court drama aside, we cannot talk about the things that are happening off-court. If you want to hear about that, then go watch the Starting Five podcast with me and my pals. The link is in the description. But Zion Williamson, he has everything he needs to be one of the best players in the league. It is just that injuries and him maintaining his weight are an issue. When he is playing, he looks unstoppable, and he looks like he could be potentially the best player in the league one day. But again, injuries and just him not being able to stay in shape is the issue. And honestly, he might end up being the modern day Shaq, because when Shaq was playing in the league, he was unstoppable until he wasn't. He got overweight and he got out of shape and he wasn't working as hard as he used to be. And hopefully Zion Williamson does not end up being like Shaq. I really want to see Zion thrive and become an amazing player and hopefully be a Hall of Fame caliber star. But I mean, he's the only person standing in his way, so we'll see what happens in the upcoming season. At number 20, I have Anthony Edwards. Seeing this man progress more and more each year into becoming the best player on the Timberwolves. It is really great and it's exciting. Hopefully he makes a future for himself in Minnesota, but if he were to ever leave, I feel like another team can use him very, very well. But overall, he is an amazing scorer. He's athletic. He is improving on his defense, and he's next up. He really is going to be one of the best players in the league when all the other players retire. He's going to be the future. At number 19 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Seeing him improve in OKC has been marvelous, and he just had the best year of his career, and it was just wow. He deserved everything that he got in the media. He deserved everyone's praise because he was amazing. Now, unfortunately, his team did not make it to the playoffs. They were really close. They were in the play-in, but they just were never able to crack the playoff spots. And I think the Thunder definitely have the potential to be a playoff team now that they know what it takes to get there. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is definitely going to lead them to the promised land, hopefully. And at number 18, which is shocking, I have Jimmy Butler. And I know he choked in the finals this year against the Nuggets, but again, we cannot ignore the amazing playoff run that he had with the Heat. He was amazing in the playoffs. The regular season, while he definitely was not trying enough, he is still a great player. He's a great defender. He's a great scorer. He's a great leader for the Heat. The only thing is now, I guess, is he needs to win a championship. I think that's really all that there is to it. If he wins a championship, it'll definitely boost his legacy. But there's really nothing else to say about Jimmy Butler. I mean, you guys already know how great of a player he can be. At number 17 is Jamal Murray. I feel like he never was given the respect he deserved as a player. And when he came back from his injury and he finally was able to showcase that the bubble was not a fluke, it was just great. And I knew after that final series that people were going to start taking notice for Jamal Murray and move him higher on the ranking list, because Jamal Murray deserves to be in the top 15 conversation as a player, and he deserves to be in the top 10 conversation as a point guard. That is how great he is. At number 16, I have Donovan Mitchell. And yes, I know, he had a terrible playoff series against the Knicks, but at the same time, he had an amazing regular season. This man consistently gets better and better each year. He had a 71-point game, which I never thought I would ever see besides Devin Booker ever again. Honestly, there really isn't much to say about Donovan Mitchell. I just think that he has to bounce back after the horrible first round that he had against the Knicks. We know what he's capable of, and besides last year's playoffs, we've seen him elevate his game every postseason, so all he has to do is just stay consistent, and he'll be fine. At number 15, I have De'Aaron Fox. Man, it's really just hilarious how now all of a sudden De'Aaron Fox is getting all this recognition after every single year since he got drafted. He has proven to be an unsung hero for the Sacramento Kings, but no one ever wanted to talk about him until this year. And he was able to lead the Kings to the playoffs for the first time since 2007. And in the playoffs, he was able to compete against the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors, and went toe-to-toe with Stephen Curry. And he was just unstoppable in that series. He could not miss a shot, and he definitely deserved that Clutch Player of the Year award because he was clutch throughout the entire season. Now all we need to see from him is consistency and prove that he can do it again. Number 14 is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving definitely, as a player, he is amazing. Talented, he is just everything across the board. Now all there is to it is, can he stay healthy and is he reliable? And since he re-signed with the Dallas Mavericks, we are going to see a full season with him and Luka Doncic, and hopefully they can make the playoffs. And if they don't make the playoffs, then that's just going to be disappointing. But Kyrie Irving definitely is still a top 15 player in the league. I will not let anyone tell anyone differently. He is still an amazing player. Number 13 is Kawhi Leonard. And I know Kawhi Leonard being this low is crazy, but again, injuries play a huge part. And while we know what he can do and how great of a player he can be and how efficient he is, the load managing and the injuries, it really just holds him back. And it's just disappointing that it's gotten to this point. I think the load managing has gotten old very, very quickly, and he is starting to become very unreliable for the Clippers. And he just tore his meniscus, and he's going to be out for a large amount of time. So, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's this low. At number 12, is Ja Morant. Yes, I don't think Ja Morant is a top 10 player just yet. I think there are players above him that still have that spot, but Ja Morant is creeping up there. He is an amazing player. He is improving on his three-point shooting. He is very athletic. He's great at driving to the paint. He definitely is improving on his jump shot. Defensively, he is honestly pretty good. The only thing now for Ja Morant is just to prove that he can lead a team in the playoffs to the finals. And yes, off-court issues is playing a factor, but that has nothing to do with his ranking on this list. I just think that Ja Morant is just not a top 10 player yet. He's definitely on the verge of being in that conversation. I have Damian Lillard at number 11. Yeah, he had an amazing season, and we all know that he is in trade talks to the Miami Heat. But honestly, I don't know. It was just weird to put him outside of this top 10. I didn't want to do it, but at the same time, I just feel like there are players that are just above him that I can't take out of the top 10 list. This is where we are going to get really controversial because at number 10, I have Kevin Durant. I mean, ever since his Achilles injury, Kevin Durant has never been the player that he once was. I mean, he's still an amazing player. Don't get me wrong. He's still a great scorer, but he's lost that burst that he once had before that injury. And he definitely is relying more on jump shots, and he's not using a lot of his athleticism, especially because he doesn't want to get injured again. We know what Kevin Durant can do, and hopefully KD can succeed in Phoenix and maybe win a title, because now more than ever, him and the Suns, they have to win a title now. Number 9, I have LeBron James. Yeah, I know a lot of Bron fans are really just fuming right now, but we have to address the fact that he is getting older, his body is becoming more vulnerable to injuries, and we just have to accept the fact that he's just not the best player in the league anymore. That is okay. We know what LeBron is capable of. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. We know what he is capable of, but I have to put him somewhere, and he's at number 9. Moving on to number 8 is Joel Embiid. Yes, the MVP is the 8th best player on this list. Another player that's plagued with injuries and can't stay healthy. In the playoffs, once again, it's the issue with Joel Embiid. In the playoffs, he always falls short, and he can't stay healthy, and he's always inconsistent, and that's really just all that there is to it. Joel Embiid needs to play better in the playoffs and prove that he can win with this team and hopefully win a championship. At number 7, I have Devin Booker. He really has gotten better defensively, and he's an amazing scorer, one of the best scorers in the league. Now, all that there is to it is he just needs to do better in elimination games, especially in the playoffs. And I mean, that's really all there is to it. That's all I can say about Devin Booker. He's an amazing player, and what else is there to say? I have Anthony Davis at number 6. I'm sorry, but I can't for the life of me not put him at number 6 because even though he was injured this season, when he was healthy, we saw what he was back in 2020. In the playoffs, we saw what he was back in 2020. He was amazing in the playoffs. I just think that he's still a top 10 player, and he definitely deserves to be high on this list. He needs to stay healthy. That's the only thing that's holding him back is his health. We know what he can be, and hopefully he can go back to what he was in 2020 because that, I think, was the best version of Anthony Davis. At number 5 is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, man, I have the weirdest love-hate relationship with Jason Tatum because I love him. I am a fan of his game, but he is so inconsistent in the playoffs. Not even the playoffs. He's just inconsistent at times, and it really irks me because he has the potential to be the best player in the league. I'm not even joking. He really has the tools to be the best player in the league. But again, what happened in the playoffs? I mean, in Game 7 aside, he was inconsistent against the Heat. He was inconsistent against the Sixers. And he was even inconsistent against the Hawks. And that's all that there is to it. He needs to be consistent. Jason Tatum really is someone that has a lot of potential. And I am just praying that he can finally win a championship and be an MVP caliber player. That's all I am asking. At number 4, I have Luka Doncic. I mean, I'm not really going to say a lot about Luka Doncic. I mean, he's a once-in-a-lifetime player. He's generational talent. He's an amazing scorer. Now, defensively, he's not the greatest, but he tries. And I mean, what else is there to say? At number 3, I have Stephen Curry. Just like LeBron, he has gotten better with age. I think the difference between him and LeBron is the fact that Curry hasn't suffered a major injury yet that has made him slower. But he is just, I mean, he's still the best shooter in the league. He's an amazing drive to the basket player. He's a great playmaker. He's great off the ball. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say about Stephen Curry, but I guess you can say the one thing that's like a negative for him, I guess you could say, is still his defense. I mean, off ball, he's a great off ball defender, but on ball, he definitely can improve. And in the playoffs against the Lakers, they were attacking him head on. And yet, there were times in the playoffs where he was not shooting the best, and that definitely did not help with the whole narrative of Curry is in clutch. But with all that to the side, we know what Curry is capable of, and I still think he's a top 3 player in the league. Now, the top 2 players on this list, I had a very hard time trying to figure out who deserved to be where. I mean, these 2 players are great in their own way, and I do think they deserve to be number 1 respectfully, but someone had to be number 2, and unfortunately, Nikola Jokic is number 2 on my list. Nikola Jokic, especially this season, he proved everyone wrong. He proved the haters wrong. He proved the critics wrong. He proved that his game is not boring and that he is one of the best, if not the best player in the league. He's the best center in the league. But I have to be that guy. Defensively, he's not the greatest, but that is okay because his team makes up for it. But Jokic definitely deserves to be in everyone's top 2 list. I mean, if he's not top 2, then that's just ridiculous. And I mean, I haven't mentioned him, so number 1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I still think he's the best player in the league. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I feel like, is the most perfect player we have in the league today. He is unstoppable in the paint. He is a great drive to the basket player, a great defender. He definitely is getting better shooting, and honestly, that is the issue with me. I think the only downside is that while he's great on the interior, both defense and offense, he definitely needs to acquire more of a jump shot, because in the playoffs against the Heat, when he was playing, especially in the elimination game, he was great, but his free throw shooting was terrible, and he just was not doing anything but driving to the basket. And I'm not trying to say he's a run and dunk player, but he needs to get better shooting if he wants to not get known as this run and dunk player, because that's what people are starting to say now. Now, I do think he needs to win another championship to solidify his place in the possibly top 10 conversation of all time. But hey, we know what he's capable of. Let's see what he can do in the next season. So that was my top 50 NBA players list. That was very fun to make, and I definitely made some of you guys mad with my ranking, but that's okay. Like I said before, it's my opinion, and if you guys don't agree, that is totally fine. At the end of the day, it is just basketball. And if you guys have a list, drop in the comments below. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Until then, I will see y'all next time. NBA Nerd out.